Seeing no other questions, I now need a motion and a second for a final passage of Bill 20-39.
Motion. Second.
We have a motion and a second. We are now going to take a roll call vote. This roll call vote will be done electronically on the computers. So voting is open. Click refresh, and it should allow you to vote. Excellent. Everyone has voted, and I can't see. Excuse me. It appears that it has passed, if green means passed, 6-0. Moving on to item number 4 on the agenda, I need a motion and a second for the second reading of Bill 20-40 by title only.
Motion. Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 6-0. Madam Clerk.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri approving the annexation of approximately 0.22 acres of land located northeast of the northeastern right-of-way line of Missouri State Route 360 and adjacent right-of-way.
Ms. Haynes was here last time to give an overview, and tonight she's here to answer any questions council may have. So council, any questions for Ms. Haynes? Seeing no questions, I need a motion and a second for final passage of Bill 20-40.
Motion.
Motion and a second. We are now going to take a roll call vote, so go back to your computers, hit refresh, cast your vote. Mr. Wilson, have you cast your vote?
Yes, but I can do it twice.
That would be great. Thank you.
How's that?
Perfect. Thank you.
Motion carries 6-0. Moving on to item number 5, I need a motion and a second for the second reading of Bill 20-41 by title only.
Motion.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 6-0. Madam Clerk.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri approving a special use permit to operate a group daycare for children in a residential zoning district located at 432 South Sherwood Avenue to Megan Sear.
Ms. Haynes was here last time to give an overview, and tonight she's here to answer any questions for the council. Please, sir.
Did she get her license from the state yet?
The state license is pending council's approval, so tomorrow we'll send the approval ordinance, if it's approved this evening, to the applicant, who can then send it on to the state. Then they should be able to get that license back to us.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Since it has come up last time, any citizen concerns, anyone reaching out violently opposed to this?
No, we have had no contact from citizens in regards to this application.
Any other questions? As there are no other questions, I now need a motion and a second for the final passage of Bill 20-41.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We are now going to take a roll call vote. Please hit refresh and vote. Are we good?
Mrs. Poolers didn't go through.
Mrs. Poole, would you try yours again?
Am I black?
Would you try yours again? Yours didn't go through.
Mine says it's not open.
Refresh.
Hit refresh.
Okay. I hit it, but I guess I didn't hit it hard enough.
That's all right.
I think you're on the wrong mouse.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, hit that refresh button right there with it.
I did that.
I believe you. She did it again. It's still not working.
Oh.
Oh, wait, there it is.
There it goes.
There it
It's in.
goes. And then you vote right there. There you go. She's better than all of us. She's working 2 computers at once.
I know.
All right. All right, is that? All right. Motion passes 6-0. Moving on to item number 6, I need a motion and a second for the second reading of Bill 20-42.
Motion. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 6-0. Madam Clerk.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, amending the municipal code of the City of Republic, Missouri by amending Title V, Building and Construction, Chapter 500, Building Codes and Building Regulations, Article 1, Adoption of Building Codes regarding snow load.
Ms. Haynes is here tonight to answer any questions that we may have about this exciting new rule about snow. So, any questions from council? Seeing no questions, I now need a motion and a second for the final passage of Bill 20-42.
Motion. Second.
Motion.
We have a motion and a second. Hit refresh and cast your vote.
Oh. Good. All right.
Motion carries 6-0. Snow better watch out. Item number 7. I need a motion and a second for the second reading of Bill 20-43 by title only.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 6-0. Madam Clerk.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, amending the municipal code of the City of Republic, Missouri by amending Title IV, Land Use, Chapter 405, Zoning Regulations, Article 4, a Plan Development District regarding plan development districts.
Ms. Haynes gave us an overview last time, but she is here to answer any questions for council. Seeing no questions, I now need a motion and a second for final passage of Bill 20-43.
Motion. Second.
Motion and a second. We are now going to have a roll call vote. Click refresh, vote, submit your vote.
Which one didn't refresh again?
You would think one click of refresh would be enough,
I know.
but it's not. So, all right.
Still up. There it is.
Motion carries 6-0 after building all that
It's just
excitement.
slow.
Item number 8, I need a motion and a second for the second reading of Bill 20-44 by title only.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 6-0. Madam Clerk.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, approving the final plat of the Charlottesville Mill subdivision.
Ms. Haynes is here to answer any questions. Seeing no questions from council, I need a motion and a second for a final passage of Bill 20-44.
Second.
All right, we've got lots of motions and lots of seconds, so I think we're good. Voting is now open, so hit refresh, vote, submit your vote. Motion carries 6-0. Moving on to new business, first reading of ordinances. I need a motion and a second for the first reading of Bill 20-45 by title only.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 6-0. Madam Clerk?
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, authorizing the city administrator to enter into a first amended intergovernmental agreement with the City of Springfield for consolidated police records management system.
Chief Sells is here tonight to give us a overview. Chief.
Thank you, Mayor. Since 2012, we have partnered with the Springfield Police Department in sharing a police reporting system called Niche. Springfield Police owns and maintains the system, but they allow other agencies in the region to use the system. Ever since 2012, we've had a cost share agreement for the ongoing maintenance and use of the system, and that has been $5,760. And because of added maintenance costs starting in 2021, that is going to increase to $10,080. And because the because of the change in the pricing, we are recommending approval for the addendum.
Any questions from council?
Tongue tied. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Have they listed like what the extra 5,000 is for? I know you said for.
Yeah, the $5,760, that had always been, since 2012, directly paid to Niche, the actual RMS company. Because of the added use of the system, Springfield now is seeing increase in their maintenance side of it. So that's going to make up for the other $4,320.
Any other questions? All right, remember this is a first read, so if you have questions, please get with Chief Sells. Moving on to other business, specifically resolutions. Item number 10 on the agenda, 20-R-42, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, approving and authorizing the city administrator to submit a renewal application for hall provider of bingo premises. I need a motion and a second to take up resolution 20-R-42.
Motion. Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Mr. Eisen, are you giving the overview on the?
I am, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
The city owns the Republic Fellowship Senior Center. They play bingo, I believe, on every Monday. As the owner of the facility, the city is required to the Missouri Gaming Commission to submit a bingo hall license. This is the same license that comes before council every year around this same time that has to be renewed. There might be some other licensing that happens at the senior center itself, but this is basically for the city of Republic since we are the owner of the building.
They haven't played in bingo since March.
That's correct, due to the closing of the facility. That is correct, due to the closing of the facility. But this just covers our end of the hall license. Whether they choose or not to apply for their license, that's up to them.
Any other questions or discussion? Mr. Dyke?
If we don't approve renewing it, can it be done if and when, the senior center reopens and they decide to do it again? Instead of just having it lay out there that it's not, I know it doesn't cost us anything, but, I'm questioning right now if or when, they'll reopen it.
I have no idea.
And from what I'm hearing, a couple of people I've heard from senior age is if it reopens, be the 1st January, but it may not be at all.
You're saying.
And I just,
In my opinion, it'd be safer at this point in time to go ahead and renew the license just in case it opens back up. Say it opens back up in a week or 2 weeks. Instead of trying to rush at the council's approval, get everything signed, get it back to Missouri Gaming Commission, it'd probably be best at that point, like you said, Councilmember Dykeman, that there is no fee to the city for this.
Right.
And it is a yearly license, so it does run from a certain time to a certain time frame. So, I can't speak to the fact of whether or not we not be in compliance as far as whether or not there might be some penalties or anything like that. That'd be something I would have to research further. But the recommendation at this point would be, since as you said, we don't know, but there is a possibility it could open pretty quick instead of rushing it through that we go ahead and take it up tonight.
I appreciate that. The only thing, like I say, is, I understand they've got a new person that's taking it over from who was running it at the center before. But I just, the things I've heard from people is the fact that it's open to the public. Anybody of any age can come in and play bingo, and they're paying for it. But the people come in and they, use the facility, drink coffee and everything else, and there's no income that's coming into the center for that, because the bingo part is totally separate. It has nothing to do with the center board. And I'm just not in favor of renewing it at this time myself.
But that's perfectly fine. We're gonna move for a vote and you.
No, I understand. That's just my opinion on it.
Any other questions or conversation about it?
They charge for the bingo. I don't know if, they charge a good price for people coming in and playing. But, of course, we haven't had anybody play since sometime in March. And, I don't know.
Yeah, it's my understanding, Mr. Mayor, it's my understanding that the funds generated from the play of bingo go to supplement food for the facility and things of that nature. That's what it used to be for the salad bar and things like that.
It's not now.
Okay.
The salad bar and everything is funded by a tax payment from Greene County. As far as the bingo part, they have their own checking account. There's no money goes to the center.
That's right.
But they're operating under the senior center's board's federal tax ID number, and they're not reporting any of that information.
Sure, Mr. Mayor, I'll be more than happy to look into it if you would hop the table. I'll be happy to look into where the funds are exactly going. So.
And is this something that we have time to table and still get done in a reasonable period of time?
Due October 31st for the chairs.
Could we table it and maybe?
We do have another meeting October 24th, is that correct? Or 20th? Is the application close to being filled out right now?
The application is a pre-filled form. All that it requires is any new council members submit their information with it, since it does go through the Missouri Community Commission. So it's not a complicated application. It just requires some information that I don't know, that appears we already have all that information. So I'm assuming if it is council's desire to potentially table this item tonight, our next meeting on the 20th would still allow us enough time to
I'll make a
get
motion
it,
we do that.
by the 31st. But I can't say for sure without researching it, but just from what I'm hearing, it should give us enough time.
We have a motion to table it to be able to do
Yes.
further investigation.
Yes.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to table. All those in favor of tabling it to be able to do further investigation?
Aye.
And
Opposed? Oh, yep, absolutely. Sorry, I didn't mean to rush that.
Is the frustration because the senior center is not benefiting? Is the frustration because the senior center is not benefiting from it, but yet they're housing it and not giving it that? Is that something where they almost want to move bingo to a different
we
location?
don't have to do anything.
I think you're spot on. I think,
Okay.
and I was unaware that it no longer goes to food, but we can
Okay.
certainly look at it, see where that goes, where the money is going.
Okay.
And we can report back, and if ultimately you all decided the money's not going to where it needs to go to benefit our seniors, you can make that decision, but I'll be happy to look into it, yeah. I mean, in the past too, there've been purchases of equipment over there, maybe that's where it's going for, but all I was aware of up until Mr. Dykeman said was my belief that it was going to food, but I'll look into it for you.
All right, so my understanding is that we have a motion and a second. We were voting on tabling it to the next council meeting to do further investigation. So I'm going to go back to the vote. All those in favor of tabling the item?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Motion is tabled to the next meeting, 6-0. All right, moving on to item number 11 on our agenda. This is 20-R-43, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, approving 2021 City Council and other, 2021, 2021, I'm making a new thing here, meeting dates. I need a motion and a second to take up this resolution.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Ison?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Around this time every year, staff in consultation with other departments and also with the knowledge of what's going on with the city council and our charter, sets forth meeting dates for the city council and also other boards within inside the city. Last year, we started taking a more proactive look at our meeting dates instead of just putting them on the first and third Tuesday of every month. We started looking at, what the need was when we needed meetings and when we potentially did not have meetings. We continued that tradition this year by scheduling meetings when we anticipate certain things will happen, when other things might not happen. So as you're looking at the 2021 council meeting dates, you'll notice that in July, we only have one meeting date as opposed to two to deal with the 4th of July holiday. Also, if you look in August, since we always have the issue of the tax levy coming in at a later date, we usually move those to the last 2 Tuesdays in August. Again, we anticipated that for 2021 and moved those in August. And in December, it's usually we only have one meeting in December. Again, you'll see that noted here that we only have one meeting in December. We've also made a few adjustments dealing with planning and zoning when they meet. Instead of potentially moving it 1 week further whenever a holiday falls on a Monday when they have planning and zoning, we actually, I believe, moved it 1 day over instead. Having a planning and zoning meeting one day and a council meeting the next created a lot of issues for staff at times, trying to get everything to you guys in order, get all the recommendations from the planning and zoning board to the council members. So I believe that will alleviate that issue too. So that's why you'll see those dates that are noted there.
Any questions or discussions from council? Seeing none, and as this is a resolution, we can move directly to a vote. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 6-0. So now we have our new 2021 dates. Go ahead, there. Yeah, there you go. Item number 12, 20-R-44, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, authorized signers for the municipal court with the Bank of Missouri. I need a motion and a second to take up resolution 20-R-44.
Motion. Second.
All right, we've got a motion and a second. Ma'am.
Thank you, Mayor. The City of Republic maintains several bank accounts. The one that we're referring to this evening is the municipal court account. This account was opened recently when we went to the implementation of the Show Me Court system as part of that requirement. Recently, we had a judge change over, so we are wanting to replace the former judge with the new judge, Benjamin McBride, as a check signer on the account. So going forward, this agenda item is basically just to approve 2 check signers on the account for internal controls. One of them is Penny Mays, municipal court clerk, and the second one is Judge Benjamin McBride. We like to have 2 signers on our accounts at all times for internal controls and to have a backup, and so that's what we're recommending tonight.
Any questions or concerns or comments from council? Seeing none, and as this is a resolution, we can move directly to a vote. So all those in favor of this resolution? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 6-0. Moving on to the last item. Well, yeah, you know what I mean. Last thing I have to worry about. Item number 13, 20-R-45, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, awarding the bid for the remodeling of the municipal court and council chamber and authorizing the city administrator to execute an agreement for the same. I need a motion and a second to take up resolution 20-R-45.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Yes, sir.
Excited for this project. As many of you know, we've been working on it for a good deal of time. We're going to take the old municipal courtroom and turn it into a dual-use city council chambers and also continue on with the municipal court space. Really doing that to provide a better overall experience for our citizens and meetings. I think you're seeing a taste of it here, like bigger, better, audio visual, but this will only solidify that more. You'll have a raised dais and to do your business. I think it's going to be pretty special. I've asked David Froling, he's a project architect with GHN here. He's going to come up and kind of give a brief overview of the project. Welcome, David.
Thank you. You see, As Jared said, we've been working on this for some time, and you can see the date on the drawings is actually back in March. We had this project ready to go out to the streets, and then COVID hit, so it got tabled for a while. But the idea was to increase the capacity for the increase the seating capacity in the room, but also to create a space that all 11 people could sit at one area, and then on the lower level would be the clerk, and there's seating for 2 down below. So, and the other item that we were tasked with was making this a portable or a modular system, so that in the event that a new city hall is constructed in the future, that this could be taken apart and moved to a new location and be reused. So it wasn't just money down the toilet, basically. The city has agreed to do the majority of the demolition work, which takes a lot of the load off the contractor and helps reduce some of the construction costs. We anticipated that this project would come in under the prevailing wage amount. However, it came in just a touch over. But that has all been accounted for in the addenda, and then it's been taken care of. So we are keeping the same theme that we have done when we remodeled City Hall, as far as the horizontal and vertical furring strips on the front of the council chambers. It is also in there we have a building material that it's going to be a rolled bullet resistant material. I can't tell you exactly with 100% certainty what it will stop, but it will be a lot safer and provide some cover should an event like that happen. So with that in mind, are there any questions? Oh, the contractor will be working with the city selected audio video company to run TV, sound. We have designed the raised platform so that you would be sitting down, normal desk height, but then there's a modesty panel that would come up in front, so paperwork, computers would all be hidden behind there. So you will just see the upper half of your body.
Should that audio-visual component come back over the $25,000 threshold, which requires your approval, we'll definitely bring it back. We don't believe that it will. We did have a very good competitive bidding cycle for this. We received 5 bids. Ultimately, we are going to suggest that we go with Integrity Development and Construction. The timing of their bid, they were asked to bid their price and time. The timing of their bid actually came in a little high on 120 days. We believe we can work with them to get that number down a little bit. But their bid price, overall bid price for the project is in the amount of $82,700. So that was significantly lower than the second bid, which was $93,200. So we are recommending approval to Integrity.
What sort of time frame are you guys looking at to get this?
Sure. I believe, and David can probably comment as well, I think 120 days is long.
I asked a poor question. When's the start time?
Oh.
So when's the expected end?
Gotcha. Millwork on this is going to be the largest part of the project. I can't speak for how long that millwork will take on the raised dais, but I'm assuming that's going to be constructed off-site and brought in. That portion of that could take a little while. If everything goes right, I would for sure love to be in there by 1/1/21. That would be good, but I don't know if David, if that's hittable or not. But
it all depends on which millwork subcontractors they use. Speaking from experience, there's some good ones and some not so good ones. So I know who can do a good job and they have to submit shop drawings for us to review and mark up, and I know who can do it right the first time, but I don't know who has been selected.
I'm assuming that if we are still in social distancing, this doesn't allow for social distancing.
well, it'll be similar to this room. It'll be limited capacities and just spread out chairs. Now, to your point though, on council members, we would have to look at that thoroughly. We may have to go to the courtroom. The police department community room if this is not available. And we're going to have to do that potentially for the November 3rd meeting as well. But yeah, if COVID is still in effect and social distancing in effect, obviously that raised dais there would not allow for social distancing for council members. So we'll have to play that by ear a little bit. We might be in here for a little while longer, but that's okay too.
Any other questions from council about this resolution? Seeing no other questions, and as this is a resolution, we are allowed to move directly to a vote. As the case, I'd like to call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 6-0. Moving on to reports from staff. Sir.
David, thank you for being here. Appreciate it very much. Debbie emailed out the finance report last Thursday electronically, so that was there for your viewing. One thing that has happened since then, which we continue to have incredible favor here in the City of Republic in regards to sales tax. So we received the October sales tax receipts. Those were up 24.07% for year over year, month over month. So that's incredible. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. Our economy is roaring, and I don't even know how to explain it, but it's absolutely wonderful. So I think it's just resiliency, and I think we're doing a lot of things right. But it's absolutely refreshing to see. It shows you how much little we know. I was sharing with the mayor. We projected 30% down. So sometimes you don't know what you think you know. But year to date, we're up 12.45% in the year of COVID. So that's truly incredible. So definite favor, and hopefully that will continue. When we go into the 21 budget, we still are going to be conservative on those figures. But as of right now, the sales tax receipts continue to be very good. I do want to go back to the opening of the Animal Control Center on September 19th. What a special day and what a special facility that is. There's a lot of people to thank that brought about that about, but first it starts with our citizens. They passed the capital improvement sales tax in August of 2017, and that was one of the projects as part of that sales tax. Obviously, Mayor and Council for your support, GHN project architect, Marion project contractor, and then the amount of volunteers it takes to make that place go. I was astounded when I went over there for opening day, and I'm sure that happens on a daily basis, but Christina, Garrett, Andrew, everybody from Public Works that made that place shine. That place is truly special. As predicted, you open a facility like this, and we got a phone call about, hey, can we bring our animals to you already in neighboring cities? And we will have those conversations. I don't know if we're quite prepared to do that, but on a major gateway to our city of 174, that's a win for us. It looks spectacular out there, and I know Christina and everyone will treat that with the utmost perfection going forward. So really happy about that. Pre-Be Strong 1062 event, that's scheduled for October 24th. This is a private event put on by, really, it's the brainchild of Ann Buchanan, and she is a wonderful lady, but her vision is huge, and this event is getting huge, and it's just awesome because all of it's going obviously to a wonderful cause of Mr. Mark Preeby. But the event features a 1 mile fun run, a 5K, a 10K, and a half marathon, and it will stretch all the way through our city into Christian County as well. There's a concert aspect of it, and there's even a possible governor visit, which we're working to see if that's going to be confirmed or not. I say all this to say we're helping them as much as we possibly can. We want to help them. The Parks and Recreation Department, the Police Department, Public Works, the Fire Department. We're going to help them all we can to ensure participant safety and make sure that event is a success. So I just want to make sure you're generally aware of it. It would potentially include road closures, but that's potentially maybe up to 800 to 1,000 runners in our city. So for a great cause and a great event. So Mike is going to speak briefly on an overall branding effort and campaign we're going to start in the next couple of weeks. We're continuing our momentum of economic development, really aggressively going after that, and we're going to start a billboard campaign in the next couple of weeks that Mike's going to cover.
Good evening. Raise this way up here for me. All right. Yeah, so the Communications Department, we obviously are charged with a couple of things. First of all is outreach to the citizens that we have now, and then also outreach to individuals who may be moving into the community, whether that be citizens or businesses or whatnot. So we were trying to find ways to increase our visibility for individuals passing through Republic or maybe even passing by. One thing that we have to our northern city limits is I-44, and that's about 40,000 cars going by our north part of our city limits every day. But if you're driving by, they're coming out of Springfield, there's really not much of a sign that Republic is there really. So one thing we noticed, a couple of things, was we're going to be working with MoDOT to improve some of the signage on the highway right now. You come to MM, it just says MM, it doesn't say Republic, but we're right there. So they're going to be working with us to improve that there. But as Jared mentioned, we're also going to be rolling out a billboard campaign. This one right here was one we designed that's going to be going on I-44 at MM, right as you're coming out of Springfield, coming toward Republic. This is going to be right there, first pylon billboard, the ones on the big pylons right there. So that's going to be the first one. And this slogan right here, leading, serving, growing, is something we're going to be rolling out as sort of a campaign in the coming weeks and months, just sort of, it's a bold statement. We worked with Lisa and David on that. Lisa came up with this one right here. I thought that was a very bold statement right there. And so this billboard right here, all of them are going to look very similar to this. They serve three purposes. First of all, you notice the arrow, so it's going to serve as a directional sign. So when you're on I-44 coming up to MM, you see that, okay, no doubt Republic is right there. Second of all, we have the messaging right there, leading, serving, growing. We're able to communicate different ideas and purposes as well. And then also down there our website. So you see this billboard, hey, what's Republic, Missouri all about? And then you see the sign right there with the website. You're able to, hopefully not while you're driving, but later on, log onto our website and check out Republic. And of course, directing people to Republic's website, all the great information on there. So once again, this will be our first one going up here on I-44. We were trying to hope that we could get something that wasn't going to be expensive. We had no idea, but we were able to work with Missouri Neon. And this will be $350 a month. That was a pretty good price on that. And the good thing about these billboards is obviously we have these static messages, but they can be switched out throughout the year. So for instance, if there's some kind of a parks events going on, Have a Blast or Mud Run, we can actually switch those out as many times per year as we want. There's a cost, of course, but that is pretty much up to us right there. So another billboard space we're going to be getting is on James River Freeway between the exits for Highway 60 and MM. So those are our two gateway exits right there off James River Freeway, getting all that traffic right there and going to be able to catch that. And we'll actually have both sides of that billboard. So we're going to be switching these out. You don't want the same billboard being in the same spot every time you see it. They kind of become a part of the scenery. You gloss over it. It doesn't really serve its purpose. So we're going to be changing locations as such. So as I mentioned, this will be one of our main campaign sayings for our branding in the next few months. But a couple of other ones we're going to be using that you'll be seeing is Republic, Missouri, moving forward, progressing upward, and Republic Mo on the grow. So those will be three of the sayings you'll be seeing right there. Just once again, increasing our visibility both for individuals coming through Republic and also just a reminder for folks who live here, just whatever messaging when we get across. So we're pretty excited about rolling that out and hopefully, no doubt to the folks on I-44 that we're just right there off the exit. So,
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. We were talking earlier today. I believe it's next level. I believe it's cutting edge, and I believe it's exactly who we are. You couple of those with our new gateway sign, and those are going to be wow moments. So really proud of all the effort that went into that. You don't see a lot of billboards with a lot of city stuff on it. You don't, but I love that we're doing it. I think it's absolutely awesome. So really looking forward to driving James River every day and seeing those billboards. So good stuff. A couple of things for your calendar. I think it's already been communicated, but October 27th, there'll be a budget meeting, 2021 budget meeting. Laura? 5:30 p.m., thank you. That will be in this building. And then the location of the November 3rd council meeting is going to be determined. That will not be here due to voting. We haven't solidified the location of that, but we'll be sure to communicate that once we have that finalized. The last thing I want to announce, and I actually let Mr. Sells do it, is always happy to bring in a new police officer, and we had one, correct, Mr. Sells?
We did. Gary Duff, he's joined us yesterday. Was his first day. He came from Battlefield PD. He's got over 9 years experience, so he's going to be a good asset for us.
Chief Sells, I know you're still down, though. Can you speak to that real quick?
Yeah, currently we are 5 down with him coming on board. So.
But it's a step in the right direction.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Happy to have him aboard, so that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Any reports from council? We'll see none. I don't have anything as mayor, so I'm going to use my BAM hammer, Nick. Meeting adjourned.
It's an awesome name.
Like seriously,